What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His name is ChronoJJ. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Odin. His name is OdinKing. The map is Mediterranean. It's currently 1-0 in this best of 3 between these two players. That first game on Team Migration was an absolute slogfest. I believe that was picked by ChronoJJ. In this second game, OdinKing going with the Mediterranean. A very interesting decision here. Oftentimes, the player who feels as though they are the stronger of the two will pick Mediterranean because it's very much a skill matchup in that if you're the faster at clicking and microing, you generally have a better time here on Mediterranean. You get the advantage by winning the water. So OdinKing feels like he's the better player in this game, obviously. But with Norse, though, this map tends to not be as beneficial for Norse as you would actually, sorry, let me take this back. Norse is not a bad god technically on water. It's just he falls behind to a lot of the top tiers like Zeus because of hero abuse, or like Atlantean because of the early Prometheans and like a deconstruction or something. And Egyptian actually falls into that same category where they can't really deal with those top tiers. But I don't feel like Norse very much does the same stuff that the other gods do. So I feel like Egyptian here is a really good pick against the Odin from ChronoJJ. Going through each set, I wouldn't be surprised to see him doing some sort of shifting sands shenanigans with his pharaoh and his priest to just push off wood and force some defensive watchtowers or something like that. Apparently OdinKing went random. Okay, that's surprising. Apparently he went random on this map. Or he went for the random map, not picking Mediterranean. Take it all back. Take it all back. But ChronoJJ picking the set here. And the villagers onto the gold mine. And this is looking fairly standard for ChronoJJ. Normally we see 3 villagers on gold, 4 villagers on wood. This is perfect. Sometimes we only see 3 villagers on wood as well if you go for a little bit less fish, faster advance time. But this should be allowing ChronoJJ to advance at the very least by 5 minutes, which is about standard for Egyptian. You kind of want to get there at 4:30 if you can. So he'll be trying to do that. He's bringing the Orok back to his base here. He may eat this or save it for a shifting sands aggression. We'll see what he does do there. We do have a relic over here with the mithril horseshoes. Really big relic, but probably won't be seeing it. Cavalry tend to not make an appearance on these Mediterranean maps because by the time they pop up, their power spike, which is about in the mid game to early late game, kind of gets missed. These players can start building towers nice and early. And we do see another relic over here on the corner of the Trojan Gate hinge. Probably, it's a good relic, but again, it's another late game relic. Maybe worth grabbing, but probably won't be seeing it grabbed. Especially if they don't scout it. And OdinKing spamming these fishing ships out. Temple is going up. And here it's aiming for that 4:30. It looks like it's going to be a little bit behind. I think these Norse build orders, they need a little bit of work from most people. I've seen a couple of good ones so far, so they're definitely out there. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I feel like gods like Egyptian, gods like Atlantean, gods like Greek, they've all had these quote unquote hyper modern build orders made for them. Whereas I feel like Norse just hasn't had that innovation just yet, where it's like you just do this specific thing and it gets you the best results. Haven't had that just yet, I don't feel like, and I think Norse players are still kind of a bit late to the party where that is concerned. There's the Anubis for ChronoJJ Monument to the Villagers coming up as well, and we do see Anubis and not Ptah here, so no shifting sand shenanigans. Villagers not mining from the gold mine efficiently as they try and move, but in fact the movement didn't help at all. There's still just as many villagers chilling over here, not sitting right in this little gap as you would like. But getting this free Anubite out is going to be able to cause some havoc onto OdinKing's base here. And we'll see if ChronoJJ has the APM in his old age to to control that one and inflict some damage while maintaining pressure on the water here. There's the Freya for OdinKing 445. One villager late on the advance time, but it's totally fine. We do see him out with 9 fishing ship here. So if we compare this to, I can't remember who we watched earlier. We watched someone earlier who did this build. It's about Shadowfax did this build. It's about exactly the same, except only 2 docks. So feels good. And the cabinet's moving out right now. Going to be trying to target down some of these longboats, and we do see them starting to fight. Cabinet's microing back for OdinKing. Immediately, we do see an immediate plague of serpents here going to force OdinKing back, and ChronoJJ going to control this area for quite some time. These sea snakes do 8 hack damage a second, so you really cannot be on top of them. They've got next to no HP though. I say next to no, they've got 90 HP. And ChronoJJ getting pulled back, and we do see that 16 HP longboat, and OdinKing not paying attention here, running straight into these these sea snakes, going to take so much damage there. And this is absolutely huge. ChronoJJ now going after the fishing ships. You're going to get 1 pick-off, you're going to get a 2nd pick-off. These cabinets, actually, one of the bonuses is actually going after fishing ships. They get an extra 50% damage onto fishing ships if they can get onto them and pick them off, but they can just go straight into the docks there. See this cabinet about to get sniped as well there, but we'll be able to get away with the extra 6 or extra 0.5 speed. More of these sea serpents are going to be getting picked off, or sea snakes I should say, and OdinKing is dealing with this pressure quite nicely at this point. We do see the Pharaoh, the Priest, and the Anubis have done quite a bit of damage here. I didn't notice that, picking off the Valkyrie, pushing back on the tree line here, as ChronoJJ is actually playing this very, very nicely so far, all over the map, picking off a lot of these longboats, not paying attention here. The Pharaoh actually under fire though by that low HP longboat, getting some value there, almost able to pick that one off. Sun Usuret almost sniped there, and the Herser plus Ulfsark coming over here to push ChronoJJ away from this, but he's still going after more of these longboats, chilling underneath this dock fire though for the time being. We check out the population situation. It's now 65 of 65 for OdinKing to 61 of 105 for ChronoJJ. Still going after fishing ships. It's absolutely key here, but you can't throw away this many cabinets, and that fishing ship gets away with 5 HP, and another cabinet does fall as he's trying to retreat away there. And now the Herser chasing this Anubis away. He's going to probably run around the entire map before returning back to OdinKing's base. We do see 13 dwarves right now for OdinKing on gold. He's sitting on only at 245 gold there, but check that back in about a minute, and he'll probably be sitting at about 1,000 gold or something, because he's just not able to spend that kind of gold income. We need to chuck those dwarves somewhere else. Nice micro from ChronoJJ pulling back that cabinet, keeping it alive. And OdinKing now sitting in about the same situation of archer ships as ChronoJJ is. So we're going to be moving into a little bit of a late or mid game here. Armory coming down for ChronoJJ. Herser going to come in and push off this wood line here. Nice play from OdinKing, being very active, but there is this position over here. The forest fire does hurt these villagers quite a bit. Not going to get the pick off though, as the Herser decide to turn around and kill off the Anubis instead. Good play there to kill the Anubis, but I do think he could have grabbed or killed that low HP villager there. Only 3 HP there. Gazelle of Set coming over as well. Pick off these Herser, or at least slow them down as they're running away. There is a 4 HP Herser that does get picked off. The Raven now running in, going to tank the Archer Fire to let this Herser get away. Nice move there by OdinKing to save some HP. But now ChronoJJ just going to move over onto this wood line and be totally fine there. Pharaoh does come out as well for him. And these longboats moving in, trying to pick off the cabinets. Just run away. Nope. And this is actually a pretty good fight for ChronoJJ with 11 cabinets to 7 longboats. He will come back to his main little defensive position here with that low HP longbow that ChronoJJ's got his eye on, and he does pick that one off before immediately retreating there. Nice play there, trying to drag OdinKing out. Still has that low HP fishing ship, which does get sniped there by ChronoJJ. Nice play there yet again, moving in, taking a couple of volleys of fire, but not losing anything and just picking stuff off. We do see the dwarves now coming over here for OdinKing, sitting now at 355 gold at this point. Looking like he may be gearing up to go to the Heroic Age, maybe through Njord or something like that, to get out the Walking Woods to tear through ChronoJJ's base, plus do some other stuff like getting out the Kraken as well. But I'm not sure it's going to be on the way for very long. OdinKing has to fix up that ox cart as well. And now the cabinet's pushing him back and seeing what he can do here. Cabinets do pick off that fishing ship as well. Longboat's over here trying to retreat away. And it's looking like ChronoJJ is about to just win this water situation here. 9 cabinets to 6 longboats with more coming in here. More longboats still trying to get built out, but they're now going to be getting built into the docks as ChronoJJ is trying to control this water here. Now it looks like OdinKing's just going to say, all right, time to grab town centers and boom here. He does have the option to get... to get to a Ragnarok here. It's definitely a win condition. It's 10 minutes, so it's about the time when it's okay to lose water. No problem there, as long as you can get both these town centers going up relatively fast. ChronoJJ's already got his armory up. He's had quite a few amount of fishing ships in. Needs to grab his purse scene ASAP here, which he's already got. Fantastic. And then spam out the fishing ships and get a second town center or a third town center, or just go to the heroic age and go for a heroic age push with ancestors. Could be an option here, but it looks like he's opting for town centers instead, spamming villages out, and this dock is about to go down. We'll pop out with the longboat, and ChronoJJ is going to be happy to see that there's not a ton of longboats there. Picking off these fishing ship as well as they're moving over to this dock, and that's going to be great for ChronoJJ controlling this water and seeing that there's nothing more on his way. So over on this settlement right now is OdinKing is just going crazy town center spam right now and moving forward onto this gold mine for ChronoJJ. Super far ahead. Sitting with 300 food in the bank, 500 wood in the bank though. He needs to pull villagers off of wood at this point and just go all onto berries and try and speed his way up to the heroic age and make sure you secure this town center, because that could be awkward. It could be very awkward if you can't grab that one. We're seeing some barracks getting thrown down for ChronoJJ as well, playing very, very carefully here. Obviously not aware that 3 town centers is coming his way. He's got nothing to worry about here. You see the cabinets going up to these walls here, which is kind of funny, but that's a thing. Now the dock for OdinKing just about to fall as well. And ChronoJJ sending 3 fishing ships forward to put a dock over here. Always about the efficiency on these fishing ships. I like it. You don't want to be gathering from these fish and then moving all the way back to this dock to dump that food off. Even sending some villagers forward here. I actually like him to move forward here and set up shop nice and close. Maybe a forward temple as well, so he can get the immediate Scorpion Man or something like that. And we just see villagers sort of cut here for ChronoJJ as he's just about to click advance through Nephthys. I think Hyena chilling in the back here. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe looking to use ancestors on the economy of OdinKing, who is just booming like a madman. We do see the armory now coming up for OdinKing, as the third town center is just about up as well. And more barracks coming up on this side here. I think ChronoJJ is overthinking this one here. This would be a big thing about scouting in this game, which I think is underutilized at most levels of play. We do see Nephthys coming through for him, but if he knew that these 3 town centers were coming up, could have played it very differently. We do see Njord coming up for OdinKing, so not going through Skadi is a bit of a risk here. The Walking Woods do sort of counter the ancestors, but also not really. I think the ancestors kind of counter the Walking Woods. But the Mountain Giant doesn't really have a good set. Doesn't really have a good answer to the Mountain Giant because he doesn't have access to mummies. Does have access to funeral rites, but costs a lot of resources to do that. Raven chilling on top of this gold mine. We see the Pharaoh moving forward as well. See some more barracks coming up now for ChronoJJ, who is just spamming buildings everywhere. There's the Nephthys for him as well. And we still haven't seen this third town center grabbed just yet. Fortified town centers on the way. Do we see an immediate market? No. Migdol Stronghold coming up. Barracks coming up. Still, OdinKing just happily booming here. Surprised that he didn't just go for... Again, surprised he just go for Skadi here and try and and try and just get Balder, utilize the Frost to defend against any sort of timing push that ChronoJJ does, and then utilize the Ragnarok. Push forward. We see some villagers now making their way over onto this settlement. So moving forward, maybe going to see if they can prevent ChronoJJ from grabbing it. But he still has these cabinets here preventing anything. No dock down, so no free Kraken for OdinKing to put some get some kills down. Villagers now onto this town center. There are some Axemen already over here. Scorpion Man getting picked on though. Ancestors gets thrown down. Will we see a Walking Woods? No Walking Woods. I think OdinKing's gonna be happy about that one, to just say, oh, defensive Ancestors, no worries, just retreat back through my walls. Play nice and defensive here. Very, very happy. We do see a forward priest here converting this boar. Very interesting. And a marker going up in the corner for OdinKing. Siege works for ChronoJJ. Trying to push forward on both sides at the same time. Spamming buildings up. Buildings up everywhere. And there's the town center now for ChronoJJ. And we do see these Ancestors trying to push forward, but they will not find any sort of value at this point. And there's the Walking Woods over on this situation here. These are like six portable rams here, except villagers don't get a bonus against them. Priests do get pumped out of this town center here, and this town center is going to be going down very, very fast indeed. Fortified town centers does come in though, and we see a Masons getting a research while this is going on. Masons will also come in actually, so it looks like this Walking Woods attack here is not going to be enough to take this town center down at all. The village is actually coming in to help out. And with the Masons coming in, it's just not going to be enough. Casting Walking Woods at like the 8-minute mark to take a town center down like this does work, but at the 15-minute mark, where all of the technologies are coming through, it's just not quite enough to take down a town center, especially with this many villagers ready to defend. And now we've got Axemen moving in. Some of these siege towers ready to start moving in as well. Hillfort looking like it's going to try and come down. And we do have the market up over here, and OdinKing looks like he is trying as he might to get to the Mythic Age here. He is going to be trying. He's at 1,000 gold, almost 1,000 food as well. Villagers getting retreated into the town center, popping back out to try and pick off the tower there, or the siege tower. There is no what's it called? Skin of the Rhino, because it is set. Villagers being used by ChronoJJ to move in anyways to try and take down this town center here. Do we see that? We do see he's going through tier here. OdinKing going through tier instead of Balder. I don't think he's going to see enough value out of a Fimble Winter here. Maybe that was a misclick and he actually meant to go Balder here. But the village is popping out, trying to fight back, pushing ChronoJJ back at this point, but he is super far ahead. And do we see ChronoJJ going through the next stage? No, not just yet. Chariot Archers getting picked off, but Scorpion Men now coming through. Going to be able to pick off these villagers incredibly fast with their 25 damage per second here onto these villagers to just snipe them in 3 hits, I believe, or 2 hits. And OdinKing in this moment taps out. GG, well played by ChronoJJ. That was a pretty decent display of set here on Mediterranean. I loved the early aggression with the priests and Anubite, even though I sort of missed it in the action. But good control by Chrono, taking out the water and then following it up with a delayed 3rd town center, getting Heroic Age first off of 2 town centers. And then OdinKing just not able to do anything to follow up. Honestly though, if OdinKing had went through Skadi, could have cast Frost to defend against this push here, gone Balder, and potentially Goldstaff here, because you got to know that these maps on Mediterranean, it's always forward gold mines. So he just has to wall off this side here, push through this side, kill this town center, and then you can push off gold here and possibly steal a win with the Ragnarok. But not happening this game. ChronoJJ takes this one 2-0. Well played. If you have been enjoying these games, please consider hitting that follow button. Or if you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in the next game.